Let's talk about the price of being a high value woman. And no, it's probably not in the way that you think I'm going to say. I'm going to talk about the price that you pay being a high value woman when it comes to relationships with men, because most men are not high value men. If you are a high value woman and you are not okay with being alone, you will have a very tough time in this lifetime. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. So I hope that those that find my channel and realize that the things that I say on this channel resonates with them, I hope that you can find self-love, self-value, and peace in being alone, because a lot of times we will be alone in this lifetime, and that is the price that we pay for being a high value woman. One of the biggest issues that I find with dealing with most men is when you are a high value woman, you will find that you are smarter than most men. And not just traditional intelligence, but you are also emotionally intelligent. And a lot of men, most men, are not emotionally intelligent at all. When you're a high value woman, you're smart, you're self-sufficient, you're driven, you're self-aware, and you are the source of your happiness. You will find that you are smarter than most men. You just are. One thing that I had to just kind of get over and stop wishing, seeking, and yearning is finding a man that's smarter than me. I know this sounds very, very egotistical. It maybe even sounds like I'm bigging myself up, but I know who I am. I know I'm a very smart woman, and I've met hundreds of men, and it's seldom that men are smarter than me in a well-rounded sense. If a man is more book smart than me, then he's not emotionally intelligent. Now, I have found a few, emphasis on a few, out of hundreds, I've found a few men that were smarter than me. And those men I look up to so much. I literally admire them, because as a sapiosexual, that's extremely attractive to me when a man is smart and book smart, street smart, emotionally intelligent, like the whole thing, the whole package. Because the thing about being a high value woman is sometimes we can think, okay, as long as he has more money than me, I'm good. As long as he has more money than me, then that means that he's a high value man. And that just couldn't be further from the truth. I've dated and encountered so many men that make more money than me, but are not smarter than me, that are not emotionally intelligent, that bring nothing to my life at all. They don't feed me mentally, spiritually, emotionally, sometimes not even physically. They just don't bring a lot to the table. I know the table talk is usually targeted towards us women, but as a high value woman, you have to look at the men in your life and ask the question, are they an accessory or are they an asset? And unfortunately, when you step out and you look at not only your relationships with men, but when you look at high value women in the media or in your life, or women that you may know or have heard of, when you look at the men that they choose to settle with, it's usually very passive men that kind of do whatever they say or just kind of act as an accessory to their life. It's very seldom that you'll see a high value woman settle down with a man that is more high value than her. When that is the case, we call that a power couple, right? And that comes with its own set of challenges as well. Because a power couple in a man's eyes, they like it for the optics. They like a high value woman on their arm for talking points, but they feel as if they would get appreciated more by a woman that's not high value, by a woman that doesn't have as much sense as you, someone that they could walk over more. And that's why a lot of times they'll end up cheating on you with like younger women that literally have nothing going for them, because that makes them feel even more powerful. It's just a power dynamic type of thing. So power couples can work on the outside looking in, but a lot of these power couples are struggling behind closed doors, struggling because there's a constant battle of power. Another thing, men will be jealous of you. I saw a quote. It said, "A jealous man is a dangerous woman." And I chuckled because it's funny, but it's so true. It's so true. I unfortunately have experienced this so much in my life. It sucks because I can think of one time in particular where the guy I was dating, we were together for almost a year, and he did a really good job at hiding that he was jealous of me. It was not outward at all. He did a really good job at hiding his true feelings towards me in regards to his insecurities. And I never knew how he truly felt about me until we got into like our second argument in the relationship, which wasn't until 6 months down the line. And that's when his true feelings would come out. And it would throw me off guard so much because I never knew that's how he felt about me. And I also never gave him any reason to feel that way. This was a situation where I made more money than him, but I never made that a talking point. I never talked about my money. I never flaunted my money. I never did anything that you would think someone would do to make someone else feel jealous and insecure, but yet he still felt that way. And it was very hurtful because it was kind of like, dang, I'm doing everything that I can possible to be humble around you and to not make you feel some type of way, and you still feel some type of way just because I am who I am. You know, it's not my fault that I make more money than you. That's not my fault. And I really realized just how jealous men can be of you when you are more successful than them when I became successful. And just to be 100% honest, I didn't become truly successful until about 2.5 years ago. And I became very successful very quickly, but yet I was still dating the same types of guys. I was dating guys that made 6 figures. I was always going for those types of guys, but as we know, 6 figures nowadays is not a lot of money. And now I'm at the point where I'm making more money than them or just as much money as them, and they could not handle that. They could not handle that. When a man sees you driving a nice car, doing nice things on your own, he really struggles to feel like he can fit in or that he can impress you. And if he gets you, he will try to humble you, whether it's in arguments or just little nitpicking, little comments. That is a real thing. A man being jealous of you just for being more successful than him is a real thing. And it could turn into a dangerous thing if the man is truly unhinged. So that is something that you have to be so aware of. Like when you make more money than a man, you just got to be so careful. Some men don't care, but most do. Most care. Most feel some type of way about that. Also, some men will flat out try to use you and be very open and apparent about that, which is, I mean, that was one of the most mind-boggling things to me when I became more high value in my financial status, was just how bold some men are about wanting you to help them or feeling like it's your job to pull them up because you came up. It's wild to me. You would think that men had more pride than that, but no, I've become such a target, and it's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. The only way to get around it is if you make 6 figures as a woman, you got to go for millionaires. I hate to say it, you have to go for millionaires in order for them to not feel some type of way. And good luck. The millionaires out there are very slim. It's slim pickings. Very, very slim pickings. That's what I'm saying. In this lifetime, if you are a high value woman, you're going to have to be okay with being alone. If you are not, that needs to be your main focus. Stop trying to find a man. Your main focus needs to be being happy alone. Another thing to watch out for, which comes with the price of being a high value woman, is women will be fake nice to you. Women will be fake nice to you because they want to be around you, but they don't like you because you are a constant reminder of what they could be and what they aren't. It's a jealousy thing, but they still want to be around you. They want to kind of monitor you almost. And you have to understand the difference between support and surveillance. These women that tend to flock towards you, I find this a lot in the boss babe community. Women that flock towards you, oh, let's link up, let's do this, let's do that. And they may not have too much business going on, but you have a lot of business going on, and they kind of act like you should be their mentor, unpaid, right? You have to be very wary of that. They're not supporting you. They're just surveying you. And I mean, some people enjoy being a mentor. I like being a mentor if I'm being paid for it, but I don't really need too many friends in my life. So women that just want to learn from me and shadow me, I'm not really into that. to be honest. So you just have to be very wary that a lot of women will flock to you and they will be fake nice to you just so that they can survey you. The solution to that is learn how to say no and have strong boundaries. Be nice about it, but learn how to say no and have strong boundaries. The next point that I'm going to make about the price of being a high value woman is a hard pill to swallow, but you will be gaslit by everyone. I'm going to repeat that. You will be gaslit by everyone. Family, friends, lovers, haters, internet, everyone. Everyone. When you are a high value woman, again, who is self-sufficient, full of self-love, independent, self-motivated, secure in herself, as soon as you say that you're happy, but you don't have a ring on your finger, you're not attached to some man, everyone will tell you that you're lying about enjoying being alone, and they will tell you that you will be miserable and die alone with cats. You will be gaslit by everyone. As soon as you share your happiness and your happiness is not attached to someone else and that you truly don't need anybody, you will be lit up. I've seen it time and time again, especially on the internet because people are so bold. I've experienced it time and time again. As soon as you say that you don't need a man, they will say, because you said you don't need a man, that means that you actually desperately need a man. I swear, it's the wildest thing, the gaslighting. And people trying to tell you that what you believe and what you feel is not actually what you believe and what you feel. They will also say that if you haven't settled down with a man by age 30, then there's something wrong with you. Notice that sentence that I just said. If you haven't settled down with a man, then there's something wrong with you. If you have watched my other videos on this channel, then you know that I feel like settling down, no matter what type of status you are as a woman, is a downgrade, period. But especially when you are a high value woman, we need to put emphasis on settling down. We are downgrading ourselves, our lifestyle, our worth by having a man that is, again, not an asset, but just an accessory to our life. I don't need any more accessories, especially not a grown man. I don't need that. As if women don't have the choice to be single. That type of gaslighting is crazy. People will tell you up and down that there's no such thing as single by choice for a woman. No such thing. It's because she hasn't been picked. As if we're not capable of doing our own picking and making our own decisions. When you say you are career oriented and you actually find happiness in pursuing your passions and goals, they'll tell you that you're selfish. They'll tell you that you should be using your efforts to raise children, turn a house into a home for a man, for a family. They will tell you up and down that you're wasting your life. If you are a high value woman that finds peace, prosperity, and happiness in pursuing your passions, you are doing it wrong. They will tell you that with a straight face that you are doing it wrong when you couldn't be happier. And this type of gaslighting honestly thickens your skin. Like, my skin is so thick. There's nothing that anybody can say to me that would really hurt my feelings, to be honest. Just because I've heard it all, you know? And so there's that pro, but it can harden you as well. So you got to be aware of that. The last point that I'm going to make about the price of being a high value woman is you will be told to lower your standards. You will be told by your peers, you'll be told by maybe your parents, you'll be told by men, you'll be told by pretty much everybody that you need to lower your standards. I remember I was having a conversation with my father, actually, and this is not a dig at my father. I love my father. However, it was really telling, and I'll never forget what he said. This was like maybe 3-4 years ago. I had just went through another breakup. My dad was like, why don't you just pick one? Because he knew that I was dating a lot. He knew that I was like in and out of relationships and that I had experienced all different types of men. So he felt like I was being picky by not just picking one and settling down. He said, why don't you just pick one? Just pick one and settle down. And it was at that moment that I realized, oh, okay, that's what this is about. This is about just picking one and settling down. Exactly what he said. And it was at that moment that I decided that I never want to settle down, because it really can be that easy. And because it is that easy, but yet I, quote, am making it so hard, means that it's not for me. It's not for me. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't desire it. Because again, if I did, I would have picked one by now. So if the choice is lower your standards and settle down, or don't settle down, I'm choosing not to settle down. And that is the price of being a high value woman.